on sport mode, 4th gear. Can't even hear me, like,
yeah,
you know, a little bit.
yeah. So should we stick with sport mode?
Yeah. So again, like, put in sport. We're in 4th gear. I'm gonna downshift a second.
Oh, very nice.
Hey YouTube, what's up? This is Ben from ShouldIGetIt.com. In this video, I'm going to be driving the 911 Carrera S with a full TechArt package from rrsmotorsports.com. So this car has a whole bunch of additional mods on it, including a crazy sounding exhaust, which I've fallen in love with. Easily my favorite part of the car, followed by these 21-inch TechArt wheels. So today we're going to be talking about the looks of the car, the performance, and the usability. So in terms of looks, you can see the TechArt package makes it look phenomenal, especially that TechArt 2 wing in the back, and as I mentioned, the 21-inch wheels, front fascia, and the exhaust tips on the back. You can see it looks absolutely beautiful. The car sounds amazing thanks to the Valvetronic exhaust. So you can keep it quiet or you can make it sound extremely loud. You can hear that right here. And now we go to sport mode. And we're going to talk about how livable it is. And this is technically a 4-seater car. So I fit my friend Jason in here. I'm letting him sit in the front this time. But we are going to be taking a ride in the 911 Carrera S. You actually fit in the back, right?
I do. A little bit of squeeze, a little bit of leaning over, and not too much head clearance.
It's doable though?
But yeah.
You can fit for about 10 minutes, right?
For about
10 minutes, 11's pushing it. But it doesn't matter because this car is perfect for just driving by yourself every single day. And it sounds like that when you start it. So we're going to get started with the car. Do you have some points that you'd like to bring up?
Let's just start with
Hold on to that.
sport mode.
Yeah, so we're going to start in the regular mode right now. And we'll just talk about how this car looks. So this is modified with about $25,000 to $30,000 of TechArt options. This is fully TechArted out, I guess would be the term. And as you can see, it does not look like a regular 911 Carrera S. The largest wheels you could get from the factory were 20 inches. These are 21s, and it's also lowered on the TechArt lowering springs. And it has the headlight trim done, so there's no orange reflectors, and it looks really, really good from all angles. Everything else you want to add about the looks of this car?
It's teched out and decked out.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely is. So one thing that I really like about this car is that it's very bipolar. You can have it in sport mode and sound like this. Let me show you guys really quick. And you can also turn sport mode off and, you know, just be a quiet car rolling through the neighborhood. But what's really nice is that this car has probably gotten the most positive feedback I have ever seen on the roads. I mean, this thing makes everybody turn their neck, especially in traffic. Everyone's looking at it, giving a thumbs up, smiling. And it's a very polite looking car, I guess. It's very elegant compared to some other exotics or cars that sound, again, like this. So sport mode, 2nd gear. For something that sounds like that, most people will get upset at you, but a lot of people have been throwing me a thumbs up because they think the car looks very friendly, and it actually sounds really good in both sport and non-sport modes.
Very discreet.
Yeah, very discreet when you want it to be, and you know, when you're on a back road by yourself, you can have it sound as crazy as you want, and it's absolutely absurd and fantastic at the same time.
Yeah, it's like much like taking a mouth guard off of a Rottweiler.
Yeah.
Once you kick it into sport mode, it will just scream.
Yeah, it definitely does. And then it still sounds aggressive in the regular. Here, I'll do a pull.
Certainly wants to be
This is non-sport mode, 2nd gear. So it sounds like it wants to be let loose, But until sport mode is turned on, it's a completely different car for sure. So it looks absolutely great. As you can see, it handles these roads fantastically. It has a 0 to 60 of about 4.6 seconds, and it feels very quick. There is a little bit of a dead zone low in the RPMs. The exhaust doesn't really open up until you reach about 3,000, but it handles amazingly well. It's on 305 wide tires in the rear, Michelin Pilot Super Sports, and it is just an absolutely fantastic handling car that you can live with every day. So we have a lot of points that we want to talk about in terms of this car being super livable. And so this car, as you guys just saw, handles really, really well in the corners, and it stays super planted. I mean, you can really put some spirit into your driving with this. And it's absolutely phenomenal in terms of corner handling and the steering feedback. This is actually a TechArt steering wheel that you can see right here. Super comfortable for everyday driving and one-handed driving, you know, when you need to maneuver it a little bit, and also when you want to put the power down. And it's just a fantastic car in all regards. You know, you can drive it super smoothly and comfortably. The seats are nicely bolstered, but they are not over bolstered, so they don't hug you too much. If you have broader shoulders, you can still fit into this car. It's not excessive, but the seats are a little bit low, and there's no handle on either side to help you get it in and out. So that's a little bit disappointing. Not disappointing, but it's something that it's missing if you don't have the easiest time getting in and out of low cars.
Definitely. Right? It would really help having handles, at least for getting into it, getting out of it. I feel like I kind of just drop into the car.
Yeah.
It's not a terrible feeling, but it would be nice to have a little bit of leverage just in you're getting in and out of the car.
Yeah, so you can just swing easily.
Absolutely.
For sure. So this car, as you guys can see, is outfitted with the 7-speed manual transmission, which feels absolutely phenomenal. And if you keep it in 7th gear cruising on the highway, will let you get up to 28 miles to the gallon. Now, I never thought I would say this, but I might actually prefer this car with a PDK. And that's because in day-to-day traffic in the Bay Area, the clutch is a little bit heavy, so it might get a little bit tiresome. My Mini is my daily, and it's a manual, and it's fine, but it's a much lighter clutch than this. And in the mountains, the PDK shifts so quickly, and you don't have to worry about misshifting, that I would maybe opt for that. So make sure you drive both the 7-speed manual and the PDK, and if you can, of course, do an extended test drive, because both are fantastic options. But if this is going to be your weekend or your second car, definitely go for the 7-speed. It is a ton of fun, and it does an auto rev match for you, so you can blip it yourself and take off whenever the hell you want. It's amazing. So now let's talk about how livable the car is, because you as a passenger don't get the fun of rolling through the gears, but you do get all the comfort and all the frunk space.
Absolutely. I get a pretty comfortable seat, nothing that hugs me too bad. The sunroof, well, it's a hardtop sunroof, very discreet, very stealthy. You don't notice it until it's actually gone. It lets in just enough wind to the point where it doesn't blow your face away. Beyond that, cup holders.
It's got 2 of them.
Deployable cup holders in there.
We'll show those out.
Nothing too major.
They don't stretch though, so you can only fit regular size water bottles in here. And I haven't actually tested them, so I don't know how well they hold, but I think since they don't stretch, they probably hold them just fine.
Plus, I mean, for what it's worth, this isn't really a car that you want to spend a lot of time drinking out of. It's just, this is a car that's meant to be driven.
Yeah. And so as we talked about, the rear seats do have space if you need to transport people. I'd say that they're meant for pets, very small children, or people you absolutely hate. So any of those 3 fit in the back totally fine. And those seats do fold down, so supposedly you can fit golf clubs in this car. I don't know how true that is. We haven't tested them. I don't play golf. But it's definitely possible. And the frunk actually fits 2 carry-ons really easily. So as you guys know, if you've seen my other videos, my camera bag is pretty big. It's a full carry-on size, and it fits perfectly into the front, and I could fit a second one on top of it, plus like a jacket or maybe 2 jackets. So 2 carry-ons, 2 jackets, and 2 water bottles easily fit in the front, which is fantastic. So really quickly, I want to touch upon the fact that this multimedia system is actually really well designed. So you have a bunch of interface controls here And there's a lot of buttons, but once you get used to them, they're all positioned in perfect places, and they're very high quality feeling buttons. And you can feel it in the window switches and the AC switch in this car, and the radar detector, which is fantastic, hardwired in. But this screen is totally fine. Very nice Ferrari, California. This screen is totally fine in bright sunlight, and it is capacitive touch, so it works really, really well when you want to control everything. It has Bluetooth, aux, iPod hookup, and I want to catch up to this Ferrari. And there's also a display right here that has your trip meter, it has your navigation screen, your music controls, and you can scroll through a lot of different things right here. And your vehicle controls, tire settings, all that stuff. So phenomenal system. Overall, this is a great daily car. If you only have to drive yourself and one other person, 95% of the time. If you have to drive anyone else, for their sake, do not get this car. Get a Panamera. It is still fun. It's not nearly as fun as this probably, but it's still a great car. I love this car, especially outfitted with the TechArt Valvetronic exhaust, because it's so bipolar. So I can, you know, sound as good as this Ferrari, and probably a little intimidating, that guy. And then I can turn off sport mode and, you know, just cruise around the neighborhood and not have anyone be upset with me. So it's a very perfect mix of a practical everyday car and an amazing sports car. Is there anything else you want to add, Jason?
Not too much. I mean, you really did touch on it.
Excuse me.
As a passenger, as a non-Porsche driver, this car is really comfortable for what it's worth. It seems like they formed the marriage between comfort, performance, and a luxury class that this car sits in. I like that it just has that discrete boundary between stealth mode and performance mode. It feels like this isn't a car that has much compromise, if anything at all. I mean, Porsche really is good with making subtle, nuanced designs. I noticed the windows pop down, pop back up as the doors open, the door handles open in a very ergonomic fashion. They really do think about users, be it the driver or the passenger, and I really have just a lot of admiration for what they put into these cars.
Yeah, very well said. That's basically what the Porsche is. The Porsche puts so much effort into their car, basically the same amount of effort that Jason put into summarizing it, which is fantastic. But one thing that I did want to mention really quickly is the sound system in here. I think it's the bass system that comes in the car, but it sounds really, really good. I haven't tried the Bluetooth, but hooked up directly to the iPod or radio, it sounds fantastic. The bass is very, very clear. Love the tones. And that's it. So if you have any questions about the Porsche 911 Carrera S, let me know. If you want to see more of the exhaust, I might do a video just on that. And if there are other cars you'd like to see me review, please let me know in the comment. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.